Hi, this is Arabella Gordon, and today we're going to talk about the Roland Fantom O series. So in the last video, I told you about my adventures in buying the Roland Fantom 07. And since then, I haven't had very much time to play with it. Actually, the first time I really booted up and gave it a go was 2 days ago. So I'm here today to share with you what I've discovered so far. Now, first of all, I've got to tell you, I'm not one of those perfect people that read manuals from cover to cover. Really, I'm a fan of the quick start guide. If there's a quick start guide, I'm going to use it. And unless I need the exhaustive manual for reference down the line, I'm not going to read it. So I thought, yeah, I would go along those lines. However, when I did look at the manual, I saw that it's quite thick. And even though it is quite thick, the manual portion that's pertinent to us in the English-speaking world is very, very small, maybe 35, 36 pages. So it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 languages, and all 8 languages are in this manual. So the portion that is in English only is not that big. So I'm going to go ahead and give you tip number 1. If you're not a manual reader, you may want to download the manual and print it. I went ahead and printed it because I felt like I needed it. First of all, when I glanced through the manual and I read it, I wanted to read it cold with a fresh heart, because I come from a background of Yamaha family of instruments, and they have a different language and protocol, and also the Chord PA family of instruments, and they have a different format also. And so coming into Roland, this is my first Roland piece of equipment, with the exception of one Roland piano sustain pedal, which I've got to tell you is the best pedal I own of all my keyboard pedals. Apart from that, this is my first piece of Roland equipment. So coming into Roland and not using Ableton, I realized I've got to learn a whole new language. So I thought in the weeks that I was on the road working, etc., I could take this manual and just get familiar with it. So one of the things that I really had to remind myself was this concept of the beginner's mind. So I have this idea and a flow chart of how to build a song, how to sequence a drum track, a bass track, and how to build my solos and everything through a keyboard that was made by Yamaha, the Tyros or the high-end PRS type of a format, and also the Chord PA, the high-end Pro Arrangers. And so I had to set those understandings aside. So I just want to go ahead and let you know, if you are brand new to keyboards, this could be a benefit for you. You don't have any preconceived notions about how a sequencer must work. So this will definitely be a plus for you in that ways. On the other hand, having experience, of course, is always good, but we don't want the experience that we gained in the past to be a roadblock in what we learn in the future. So I really had to set aside some of my words, my terminologies, what a style and a pattern should be, and what sequencing must look like in a flow chart in my mind and in my work. So I set those aside and I looked at the manual. So the first time I printed the manual, it was in black and white, and I tell you, it was so uninspiring. Not only is it a manual, for Christ's sake, it is in black and white. And so I've got to tell you, the Roland screen is in color. The whole board is lit up with colors. So if you're going to print the manual, please print it in color. I'm telling you what, it makes a big difference. No, number 1, it makes it so much more interesting. Number 2, because the colors trigger different functions and they start giving you an indication of what's going on without having to figure it out. The colors start to tell you what it's doing. So printing it in color is definitely a must. So here it is, printed, not front and back, but just front only, which is a good thing to do if you want to take notes, which I love to take notes and write things down. So print it in color and go ahead and get a look at it. And I just cold read it again without any preconceived notions, just wanting to understand what the originator of this product was trying to present to me. So in reading the manual, I found it a bit lacking because it was so abbreviated and brief. It was friendly. It was almost actually a quick start. That was the manual. There was nothing more comprehensive behind it. And because I wanted more information and I wanted more pictures, I thought, what could I do other than play with it? So I looked for additional videos and tutorials. And I gotta tell you, it's still so new, there aren't a whole lot of videos on the Roland Fantom O series. However, there are some videos on the Roland Fantom, the original flagship version. So a lot of those functions, since they carry over, and the thought and the logic behind it are, if not the same, or if not identical, very, very similar. So we inherited a lot of it from that flagship. So there are some videos with pictures that did help me a lot. I did find those again on Sweetwater, which is a great site if you need help and support information. So a good thing to do when you're getting ready to learn anything new is to set your goals. So knowing where you want to go will definitely help you filter all the information coming at you and to organize them in a way that you can use it to achieve your goal. So my goal in purchasing this keyboard, and my goal is to learn it and master it and reprogram it. At the end of all that, my desire to use it is to be able to use it as a live performance instrument, where if I didn't have all the players, I could have patches and parts coming in and going to make it a fuller sound. If one day I was missing a drummer, or sometime I did not have a bass player, etc. And if I had to do double duty with this keyboard, I wanted to be able to program the board so I could use it in a live setting. The next objective, which may even be a bigger objective, since I already have keyboards with which I can do the first objective, the bigger objective maybe is to understand how to use this thing so I can sequence backtracks, whether they be covers or my original songs, but even the higher priority between the two would be my original songs. So the end goal is to see what's got underneath the hood, already existing with samples, sounds, tones, and its structure, and how the sequencer works. So I can master those functions and use them to build tracks, backtracks for my own original songs for a project. So go ahead and take a few minutes and decide what your goals are, because it'll definitely help you to filter the information coming at you. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you do not have one already, that'll give you an idea. Or if you're just learning it, maybe you're learning it with me, it makes you feel good knowing that someone's in the same shoes that you are. All right, again, this is Arabella Gordon, and I'll see you next time.